then there's cheating by curiosity.
Okay.
I see curves, I see hips, I see this,
voluptuous, whatever.
Exactly. And I just want to know what it's like. You understand? So I'm exactly. I'm even willing to pay money for this. You understand?
Yeah.
Which is a common essence in Durban. But I'm willing.
You just had to throw that province in there.
Oh yeah. I'm going to tell you.
Recently, I know, you told me you were there. What's sparking this world of side chicks? And are they so bad, if we think about it?
So side chicks, first of all, they studied where the wives failed. And then they you
heard that? Please say it again. They studied where the wives failed.
Yeah.
RedemptionX, yet again, guys, we're here. We're talking about something very, very powerful these days. As we know, sometimes we have issues in our relationships, or as we call it, umjolo. But we've got an expert here with us that's going to tell us more and guide us around marriage, how we can make it work, how we fix certain challenges we are facing. We've got Rick with us today. Sir, how are you?
No, I'm so excited to be here, and I have greetings to the viewers as well, to everybody else here who's making this happen, and also to you as well for really becoming that person that can unearth this information.
Thank you, good sir. Such kind words. Tell us, who is Rick? What does Rick do?
Yeah, so Rick is a businessman and also primarily a marriage counselor. I've been doing marriage counseling for 19 years to be exact. Wow. I celebrated 19 years on the 26th of April.
Wow.
However, at the same time, I'm an NLP practitioner. And I also as well carry a doctorate in theology.
Wow.
Focusing on ancient marriages, which comes from Africa, Asia, Europe, and all the other various parts. Versed in surahs, Hindi items, which are your Vedas, and also Christendom marriages and the general outlook of marriages when we look at ancestral based and so forth. So
wow,
the experience.
So I definitely have an expert sitting with me today. Eh?
Yeah, no, definitely.
It's gonna be amazing. I mean, with such background, I think there's a wealth of knowledge that you can give to our viewers to make them understand better and how to manage or navigate this thing called marriage.
I like what you say, because marriages fall on the bedrock of ignorance. So the more you ignore the essence of what truly makes a marriage, the more you're going to fail. And I think the stats even put us on that good ledge, because in 2023, which is the latest statistics on marriages, 22,230 divorces took place under the court procedures. We're not counting customary on top of that. That means that we're divorcing 428 marriages per week, 61 per day, 7 per hour if we look at the number of hours that lawyers work. So deeply, there is a massive problem in the country that we are not necessarily detailing properly, even though there are so-called marriage counselors outside there whom we respect. However, there's a problem in even the knowledge that we're embracing in this current era, especially the 21st century.
What kind of problems? You know, when you touch on problems, I think that's what we want to delve into today.
Yeah.
What are these issues affecting marriages and people? I mean, when you say divorces, those numbers are staggering.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you were to go back to historical times, before you got married, though we know there's the bride price system, there's the dowry system, or what we call lobola in our customs. You would go through a period of learning what it means to be a man through the uncles. You go through a period of learning what it means to be a woman when it comes to the customs. And so when you enter the confines of marriage, you were entering it knowing that you are well versed in what exactly
you're getting supposed into.
Exactly. But now it seems families have disorientated heavily in our time, and they're not so connected. So therefore, you're on your own. And because you're on your own, you don't understand the dynamics involved to try and keep a family together, especially children.
You speak of dynamics. What kind of dynamics are we talking about here? So if let's say, for an example, I'm deciding I want to get married. I'm a young 25-year-old and I just met a partner I believe I can live and build a life with. What are some of the elements and the dynamics that I should take into consideration?
Well, let me give you, historical background is very key of a person. We had a case where a man was getting married. Don't want to mention names. He was getting married. However, the parents did not disclose during the lobola negotiations that their child was schizophrenic. So when the guy paid, he did everything. They did a whole 300,000 rand wedding, including the whole procedures and so forth.
Oh.
But about 2 years down the line, he started to realize something very bad. That's the fact that she can venture into multi-personality disorders. She can venture into certain mental disorders. So when they came to me for counseling, I then started to look into the background of the lady. And I saw that, no, there's a massive problem here. So when we started to dig in further, it was almost as if the condition was incurable. However, if the guy knew that background, he was not going to have pursued the union. So we are literally hiding a lot of information when it comes to marriages. So people end up marrying people they don't know. So back then, when you were in the cultural customs, they'll tell you everything about the person. Where they were born, what they did, they'll tell you what they studied and all those types of things. What else now is just, let's get our son out of the house. Let's get our daughter out of the house. So
let's get them married off somewhere.
Exactly. So that those background checks not being done has caused a serious problem when it comes to marriages. That's why you find people after 20 years of marriage, like, I don't know this person.
Wow.
You understand? Or 10 years of marriage, even just in dating for that 2-3 years, for those who are juggernauts for dating.
And that dating is a very crucial point of learning who the next person is.
Oh, yeah.
And some of the challenges that, I know we were speaking about it earlier. What are these challenges that we find once in marriage, besides finding someone who's got maybe mental issues?
Okay.
What are these challenges that are breaking up these marriages and giving us these stats?
So marriage is an amplifier.
Okay.
Marriage amplifies what you could not master in your singleness. So when you are single, you have to come to a place where you master yourself.
Okay.
You have to master your giftings, your purpose, your destiny, your ethics, your values, your principles. All these calibers together must make you a full, complete person. When you enter the confines of marriage, you're entering it with that perspective where I'm going to add value.
Yeah.
So if you do not enter with that perspective, marriage is going to unearth that you failed in your singleness. So what happens now is that people then jump into marriage thinking that person can complete me, that person can add value to me. What else is not going to do that? It's going to do the exact opposite. It's going to make sure that it literally finds out what you could not master in your singleness. So don't enter marriage if you have not mastered certain things about yourself. If you're an alcoholic, marriage is going to amplify it. You're going to die of alcohol. If you were a cheater before you got married, after you get married, you are even going to go 10 times, 20 times more because of that.
You know what, Rick, you're touching on elements where I'm even questioning a lot about myself.
Yeah.
In terms of the reasons I would have dated someone. And earlier you said something about complete yourself.
Yeah.
And that's powerful because we have this notion that I am incomplete without you.
Exactly.
And we like saying, yo, baby, you complete me. So you are now changing that to say, be a full self.
Oh, yeah.
Identify with you first before you go find a partner in life.
Yeah. Look, purpose is the very reason why we were born on this earth in the first place. The way we speak, our voices, our hair, the molecules of our body, they speak to the essence of that purpose. So when we do not discover what we're born for, we will enter marriages, and the minute our purpose starts to unfold, that person can set you back because they don't understand who you really are, the fabric of who you are. So in marriage counseling, especially premarital, there's what we call a personality test.
Okay.
There's a difference between personality and character. They are not the same things. When your personality is the fabric of who you are, nobody can change your personality.
Persona.
Exactly, your persona. They can only understand your persona. Because if I alter persona, I'm altering purpose. I'm altering destiny. I'm altering the reason of your existence. However, character is a sum total of what you read, write, see, what you learn, your parental upbringing, your friends. This shapes up your character, and therefore it determines the quality of decisions that you're going to make in life.
Wow.
However, your persona now, it's unchangeable. If I come and say I would like to change the spots on a leopard, it cannot happen.
It can't.
Because it's embedded in the skin.
Yeah.
That's what it needs.
It's what creates the leopard. We know it for those spots.
Of course. If it doesn't have those spots, it can't hunt because it can't camouflage.
And it's not a leopard anymore.
Exactly. Exactly.
Wow. And you know, you're touching on so many elements and my mind is running wild here. But I want to go back to, you know, the whole reasons why we marry.
Yeah.
You know, there's this concept of marrying up.
Yeah.
Or marrying into a certain family.
Yeah.
How does that affect things when it comes to you having that partner in life?
Yeah. So marriages are first of all belief systems. Marriages are not first and foremost medical. Okay. That is why when you get married, you're not going to bring a psychologist to come and marry you. However, when you have problems, you go to a psychologist. You see, and so these phenomena need to be well understood. Marriage is spiritual. That is why whether it's ancestral, Hindi, Muslim, Christendom based, you are still going to go to a spiritual leader to actually accept the union and gratify it. However, the issue concerning a lot of people is that they don't understand that concept. So they enter marriage thinking they can hit it from a natural phenomenon, and that's not going to happen. That is why most marriage counselors, psychologists, and therapists, and all these other types of ists are actually divorced. Yeah, because they think that they can medically solve everything, or those from the spiritual spectrum
think smart-wise.
Exactly. From the spiritual spectrum, they think they can solve it. I'm going to give you a story of a lady we met in February this year. So she went down to a pastor. The pastor counseled her and spoke to her some nice soothing word. And they said, fight for your marriage. That's what they said to her. And then I said, in a nutshell, do not fight for the marriage. If he went outside and slept with somebody, there is a high chance that he might have a sickness. So literally she went and she said, I'm going to follow what my pastor said. I said, no problem, you go ahead. To discover when she went for a medical test in February around the 15th, 16th, if I'm not mistaken, they discovered that she actually had AIDS.
Oh my word.
Not HIV. It had now developed into full blown, but she had it from it seemed like it was already there. But this is the catch. The husband knew already.
Oh my word.
The husband knew already. So when she came back with the paper and threw it down on the table, he then said, people get these things. That's what he said. However,
kind of justifying it.
Oh yeah. And she had stage 1 diabetes on top of that. So when those things coupled together, plus the depression, the anguish, and so forth. She, if I remember correctly, they reported a death around the 22 or 23. But I told her the year before that don't sleep with the man once you've proven exactly that this man is sleeping around. And literally, she decided to follow that particular advice, and look what it got her. She didn't get a chance to see her grandchildren. She didn't get a chance to see any of those items because she listened to counsel that was not ripe at that particular moment. This does not mean all pastors or all therapists or all psychologists are bad out there. It just means that we need to really look at the merits of the situation.
Good advice.
Exactly.
Healing
so that
advice.
You won't find yourself dying before your time.
And that was, that's deep.
No,
it's touchingly deep. And I want to now shift it. What kind of issues would you say a lot of men, if we move to that spectrum, what kind of issues do you find that men are coming to you for around their marriages?
Okay, so a lot of men in their marriages are very unhappy because, and I deal more with men than with women.
Okay.
A lot of them are very unhappy because what they married, first of all, does not have 3 primary qualities. Number 1, it's respect, which is the language that translates as love to a man. And it's the ability to be heard. Most wives don't listen to their husbands. However, this may be different in different scenarios. And then the third most important one, they need their conjugal rights.
Yes.
For safety purposes.
Sex. It's okay. You need to feel that you can sexually feel wanted as a man by your partner, and you feel satisfied, basically.
So in a man's brain, when he engages in sex, there are 3 chemicals that come out of his brain. In a woman, there's only 1 chemical that comes out. So when you sleep with a woman that loves you, that cherishes you, that adores you, by nature, after you have engaged in intercourse, your mind forces you to sleep because of those 3 chemicals. That's why men after intercourse...
Hey, this explains a lot.
Yeah, they sleep. Because...
We just go,
Yeah, but the woman can still go wash dishes.
Oh, wow. True.
Not
Like,
just
why
wash
are you
dishes,
sleeping?
even mop the house, But that's the thing. Because these understandings are not there, we get into marriages uninformed. So women don't understand these 3 qualities. Not all of them, but there are some that do. However, when a man has these 3 needs catered for, he's able to go far. For example, you find a man coming to work full-blown aggression. You don't understand where it's coming from. However, that is because he has not gotten his medicine. A woman's body is medicine to the husband. Yeah, then you know this guy has got a lot of tension.
He needs to release it. He needs to release it.
He needs to find somewhere to work out that tension. However, it has been proven that when men have not gotten their conjugal rights, they become deeply aggressive. That is why in sports, they don't allow you to engage in intercourse with your spouse prior to the
match or the big game.
Exactly. Whether it's Springboks, whether it's Bafana or boxing, they don't allow you to, because by nature intercourse calms a man's body down. It's medicine.
And we need that aggression for whatever sports.
Yeah. But the minute you engage with a woman, it's a state of peace. Remember, a woman's body is a state of peace. Matter of fact, even the nakedness of a woman is therapy to a man.
Wow.
You understand? So a lot of women...
I've never looked at it that way, but
yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. That, if you look at your wife cooking, you look at her do all those things, and she's walking there, she's dressed proper for you, and all those types of things, that's therapy to you.
And you're like, I wanna la.
Yeah. Even her skin is 30% thinner than a man's skin. So when you touch it, there's that softness that speaks to, the voice of your pores, which makes you feel some sort of softness, peace, and all those particular elements. But because they are not taught these particular items, they end up, just separating for no reason.
Hey, we are being taught today.
Yeah.
World, wow. Such insights are giving us so much depth into, firstly, understanding marriage.
Oh, yeah.
Secondly, knowing why you want to get married. And also, I love the concept of know yourself first. Be complete in you before you go find in someone else's child.
Oh, yeah.
And, going back to the point about, the whole male issue and some of these issues focusing on why people divorce, I want us to touch on, you spoke about conjugal rights.
Oh, yeah.
What other issues play a big role in marriages that can either make or break marriages within the bedroom space?
Okay. So you see this adult entertainment industry that has created videos and stuff like that.
Okay.
This affects marriages in a great deal. A man was never supposed to see variety of bodies.
Wow.
Because it alters the genetic chemical reaction in the brain. What happens is when you watch those particular stuff, especially for a man, dopamine comes out uncontrollably in the mind, which creates holes in the brain, which means he will have what we call a lack of concentration span. So a woman was never supposed to unveil her body publicly for just any man, because it's a damaging of the mental structure of a man. However, they were supposed to protect that system because it then affects the brain of the man. And so because a lot of people don't know that, that's why all these leggings and mini skirts and all these particular items you see outside.
Which are now fashion.
Yeah, which are now literally adopted into the system. I can wear as I wish. However, you don't understand the amount of damage it's actually spiraling in the man's mind. That's why even educationally right now, you get a lot less men adopting into education because even their concentration span has been demolished because they are more interested in those particular items. You go to clubs, you go to taverns, you go to area, that's what you see. However, it has been proven as well in societies where the people are well dressed, young boys that are raised in those particular areas grow up ethically well.
Okay.
But in societies where there's those types of dressing, boys do not grow up ethically well. So in a way, the woman covering up her body, she was actually being such a I'm going to use a Christian word,
Yeah.
blessing to the society, because it was helping boys to grow up to become the finest of men within our society. So if you look at a lot of men today, any structure they see, they have interest, which creates curiosity.
I want to see more. I
Yeah.
want more. I want that.
So there's cheating by genetic problem, there's cheating by curiosity, and there's cheating by lust. These three are not the same. So if I am cheating by genetic, it means my grandfather was a cheater, my father was a cheater, my great-grandfather was a cheater. So the whole system is going there.
Wow.
So you can already see. That's why when you get to the medical area, they'll say, does anyone have diabetes in your family? They're trying to find out. So
where's the history? Where's the family tree that started this?
So we also come and we say, has anyone cheated in your family? And then you tell us, you say, my this, my that, and then we tell you, but you're going to marry a man who's going to cheat. So we might as well start off by trying to deal with the problem prior to you entering that particular area. Then there's cheating by curiosity.
Okay.
I see curves, I see hips, I see this,
voluptuous, whatever.
Exactly. And I just want to know what it's like. You understand? So I'm exactly. I'm even willing to pay money for this. You understand? Which is a common essence in Durban. But I'm willing.
You just had to throw that province in there.
Oh yeah. I'm going to tell you.
Recently, I know, you told me you were there.
Yeah, I mean, the hotel manager came to me and said, look, man, I know you're a marriage counselor. Come sit with me. Watch how many slave queens are going to walk out of the hotel. And we counted 57 together. And they were
in one hotel?
Oh, yeah. Then they leave around 6 o'clock, 6:30.
Let's not mention the hotel, please.
I'll try safeguard people here. But the cheating by curiosity is because of what we are not supposed to see. So now it has created in the minds of men variety. So in other words, I want to be with a slim thick tomorrow. I want to be with a skinny tomorrow. I want to be with a thick tomorrow. I want to be with this tomorrow. And that has defrauded us of enjoying the fullness of marriage, because now we don't understand what it means to commit, to love somebody, to love them till death.
That one type that you have that you're going to stick with for life.
Exactly. We don't understand those things because we've been invited to a world of variety.
And now it affects us even in the bedroom, where even the level of satisfaction perhaps is... I'm with my wife, but I'm not really satisfied because I'm in wonder now.
And not just that only. I mean, we've had women that have come through and say, you know what, I was busy engaging in my conjugal rights, and for some strange reason, he mentioned somebody else's name.
Ooh.
And these are deep matters, because a woman, when she's cheated on, she oftentimes rolls back into the thought of, I'm not enough.
Yeah.
Which makes them now to adopt, all these particular, they start changing
insecurities.
Themselves. The insecurity becomes big, they start, working on their husband's WhatsApps, and, while they are sleeping, they take their phones, and it's just a symbol that they're feeling that they're not enough. And the men invited that by going outside, because why would you go outside if you have everything you need here?
In the house, yeah.
You understand? So it also destroys the self-esteem of a woman, because she got into that thing full blown. She was willing to sacrifice to give birth to your kids. She was willing to cook for you. She was willing to do all these things that a woman does. However, for one night of pleasure, you decided to run outside, and that killed the whole system of marriage.
Rick, you're taking me places here, and I don't want to go to some of them, but I also want to explore, this notion that money plays a huge role in marriages.
Yeah.
How would you, in your experience, describe certain issues that money can have within a marriage?
Money, remember, let me backtrack a little bit.
Yeah.
So let me speak to men.
Okay.
Right. There are two ways in which women marry. A woman will marry you because she genuinely and authentically loves you. She literally appreciates you. She values you. She loves your character. She loves everything about you. However, then there's a woman who marries out of trauma. These are not the same. So a woman that marries you out of trauma, she looks at what she came from. She doesn't have money. Her father was poor. her mother was poor, which created what we call a traumatic effect. In other words, she went through so much pain that pain alters the decision of how she chooses men in life.
Daddy issues,
Yes.
as modern, sometimes we call it.
Exactly. But now this goes even deeper because she will sit down and marry what you represent to keep her out of trauma, not you. She's not interested in you. She's interested in what you represent that kept her.
It's
that
like
can keep
people
her.
saying, I love the idea of you.
Exactly.
Not you.
Exactly. So those marriages now, the minute money finishes in the marriage, or you go through a phase in your marriage where there's no money, you will see a different side of that type of woman who married out of trauma. She will fight you, scream at you, and she believes arguing and fighting will bring more money in.
Wow.
However, what brings more money in is coupling your wisdom together to be able to bring more resources into the marriage to better speak to the situation that requires money.
Sure.
So money in marriage must be seen as my worker.
Yes.
Money must be my
It's a
servant.
resource.
Exactly. When I get married, I go to the garage and I'm pouring fuel. It's my workers that are going to get me that fuel. And for me to get those workers, I have to go somewhere to labor to get those workers. So money must always be beneath the marriage. It must not be the center of the marriage. However, though it's beneath the marriage, it forms a great part of the marriage.
True.
Because it's what sustains the capacity of the marriage.
True.
So these factors need to be well understood. Otherwise, you will be finding yourself fighting as a woman for a marriage, because there are men that also come out of trauma.
True.
And they select women based on how much they can squeeze out of them financially. So it's not a one size fits all item. It's literally men can go through it, women can go through it. However, I wanted to dish down because it has been said that women love money.
Yeah.
However, it's not necessarily that as the bottom line. The bottom line is that the person comes from poverty. And therefore, because poverty has spoken, therefore I'm going to marry what the guy represents.
Poverty mentality.
Exactly. That parasitic way of marrying.
Survivor.
Yeah, no, you can't marry for
Like,
survival. And those marriages don't last 9 years.
Wow.
Yeah, they don't last 9 years. The level of marriages in terms of South Africa lasting is 9 years. If a marriage can go over 9 years, it's literally doomed. So some, by the time they reach 5 years, their marriage is already dying.
Ooh.
Because they entered in uninformed. They are not
Yeah.
educated. Their parents don't even tell them. They've grown from fatherless households. They've grown from households where probably their own mothers abuse them. So when these two people come together, I mean, it's a bomb in the making.
It's that complete me, fix my problems, fix my issues, not the fact that I love you and I want to be in union with you, regardless.
Exactly.
And it's really funny that, you know, when people make these vows and say through sickness and in health, all of these powerful words in front of, you know, God and the whole church, they don't really think deeper into what you are describing now.
Of course. Remember now, marriage is first of all a primary institution designed for two people to come together to not necessarily complete each other, but to enhance each other.
Companionship.
Exactly. However, most mothers and fathers focus on the kids more than their spouses. But the kids at the age of 21, 25, or 18, they're going to move out.
They're gone.
So if you focus on what's going to move out, what about when they've moved out? What are you going to do now concerning that relationship? And so the minute kids move out, they are on their borderline of separation because they don't see a reason of
They
being
haven't
together.
nurtured that union.
Exactly.
Outside of the kid and family structure.
Exactly. So that's where people miss it. The marriage is primary over the kids because the kids are going to leave.
So it's like they came together to raise these.
Yeah.
And then once these babies are now grown into fully grown human beings and adults, they're gone. They've got no more purpose for each other.
Of course.
And now it takes us back to your point around purpose.
Exactly.
What was your purpose? What was your reasoning? Why did you even unite?
There must be a deeper purpose to why you are together than children. Because children are going to form their own lives, their own marriages, their own households. They will leave you fighting and go and enjoy their marriages. So a lot of couples that don't spend time focusing on each other, but on the children. And it's a mistake a lot of mothers and a lot of fathers make, especially mothers, because they've got that nurturing perspective for the child, you know. And there's nothing wrong with that. However, it needs to have a balance. Same as the man. He goes out and he works countless hours but doesn't balance seeing the children. And these items, when they come together, it becomes a bomb of disaster. So the truth of the matter is, a lot of people are building marriages that are born to die because they're not informed. I keep on going back to this information part because it's key. Now, in South Africa, we have what we call a blended family crisis. You know, you are raised by your grandmother, and then you are raised by a man you don't know, you are raised by a woman, you know. So divorce now is creating that blended family crisis where you've got two mothers now. You've lived with a stepmother and you've lived with the original mother. You've lived with a stepfather and your original father. So everybody you find right now, somehow, some way, there's a blended family structure. And the single mother crisis is even going over the moon. Because when most spouses that were married begin to divorce, they actually end up cheating with married spouses. You know,
the irony.
You know, it's that ripple
the irony.
You know?
And I've picked that up on social media quite a lot, where they actually say that someone who's now divorced finds themselves cheating.
Of course.
With a married man or a married woman.
Of course.
Yet they never liked it when it happened to them.
Oh yeah. And remember, cheating has advanced now. It's not
higher grade.
No, now it has moved to a new caliber.
Tell us more. What level is it sitting at now?
So now they don't deal with AMA phones and stuff like that. Now they deal with massage parlors. Now they deal with
happy endings.
Yeah, these happy endings and stuff like that. You pay your money. I mean, the card machine has a different name compared to the name of the massage parlor. I interviewed 3 owners of massage parlors. And I was writing a book called Dealing with Side Chicks. So I wanted to find out, like, really what brings this man here. And one of the ladies said that she makes 1.4 million a week from the massage parlors. And she says, every 15 to 20 minutes, somebody's
I think we're in the wrong business, Rick.
Man. I mean, if you want to get rich quickly, I mean, why sell drugs? However,
and this man is making 1.4.
I'm telling you, 1.4 million a week, and it's a business that's not accepted in South Africa because of the certain morality of the law that we carry.
Okay.
However, most men that are going there are married. That means that there is some sort of a deniance of conjugal rights within the confines of marriage. So they end up spiraling out there. However, some are going out of curiosity, some are going out, remember like those 3 terms? But now that's a problem. Because when we were in KZN and Gauteng especially, we discovered on one street that there was about 14 of them that were literally
massage
there.
Parlors.
Oh yeah.
Actually, now that you mention it, remembering that I've been in Durban for some time, there's quite a lot.
You know, Durban is something else, man. However,
we love you, Durban. We love you.
No, we love KZN. You know, Western Cape is no different. It's just that Western Cape is a bit of opulence now. It's still, the same thing is happening, but it's being done in luxury. It's being made to look
Clifton Beach lifestyle.
Exactly. And so Gauteng is almost the same as well. So men are no longer cheating through those channels. They're cheating through channels that are now professional. You understand? So it's very difficult now.
It's very professional. If the massage parlor can change the name so that your wife doesn't see it on a statement, then hey.
You know, back then, you know, you could just get your husband's phone, your wife's phone, see a few messages and like, nah, something is going on here. Now you can't trace anything because you can just do a straight phone call. It's a landline number. I mean, who cares about landlines?
Yeah.
You get your appointment, you go there, you get your job done, you pay your 800,000, 2,000, whatever amount they charge you, and you've got your fix. But now you get men that go there every week. You get men that go there every month. You get men that go there. I mean, even women are doing it now.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, it has been proven on CNN that the industry of adult entertainment, the people who watch it are men, but the people who act in it are women.
Valid point.
Why would a man want to go and watch another man? So literally, the woman acts, but the man goes and watch. So I once spoke to one adult entertainment owner, but it was through an online platform. He owned one of these big websites that they have, you know, globally. And he said this thing to me. He said, we can use 8 men for a number of women. So, but then the people who are watching are the men. So it's almost like we can sit down and say, but men struggle with this, but what about those ones who are actually acting? And how many of them are they? So they made a research. There's this book that was written, just not to mention the name, since, might go places. But they discovered that the NFL, the NBA, and Microsoft combined cannot make the profits of the adult entertainment industry. They discovered that every 38 minutes a movie is being released
in the adult world.
In the adult entertainment industry.
That is scary.
I mean, there's some big figures. That's what I'm saying. We're dealing with marriage is not just collapsing from one angle. It's collapsing from diversities of angles. And that's why it's not something you can fix by one item. Yeah. You need to look at the diversities of areas where there are struggles and then channel it. That's why, for example, marriage seminars. I love marriage seminars. I love marriage boot camps. I love them. But they can't fix marriages. Because
why is that?
Remember, I'm giving you a one-size-fits-all answer. But marriages are built on DNA. Our DNAs are not the same.
Not the same.
So the counsel that's going to come out to fix your marriage, you can go to 15 seminars if you want, but you find that your answer is not in all those 15 seminars. Your answer is in a one-on-one session.
Yeah.
And you must notice something very interesting. Where have you ever seen a white seminar? Never. Where have you ever seen an Indian marriage seminar? You've never seen one. Where have you ever seen a Muslim marriage seminar? You've never seen one. But as blacks, we have lots of them. I mean, even today, there probably might be 15, 20 that are happening in different places.
Yeah.
But we still carry the highest divorce rate.
Wow.
So are these seminars working?
Are they working?
I don't think so. Although I appreciate what people do to have them, there's some few marriages here and there because the advice is applicable to them that can work. However, it's not fixing the majority of the problem.
It's a valid point. I mean, I can't sit in a room with 15 other couples, yet my problem is not similar to theirs, yet we are taking all the same advice.
Exactly.
We need to tailor make it to what's going wrong in my marriage, which is where the one-on-one comes in.
Exactly.
Wow.
So you don't fix marriages. That's why if you look at something very unique, let's look at from my records.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to look at records and other places. In my records, the highest people to divorce are Zulus in terms of percentage.
That's insane, man.
Yeah. and I think there's two norms that need to be understood.
Okay.
Zulus come from two dimensions. They come from a cultural dimension and they're trying to enter a 21st century dimension. So when you marry a Zulu, you have to see which one exactly am I going into.
Yeah.
Because the one that's cultural has a certain way of thinking. The one that is 21st century has a certain way of thinking.
True.
And you must remember that Zulus have a deep culture. Compared to
True.
all the other cultural standards in SA. So when you find a one that is 21st century married to a one that is culturally based, you're going to get a separation.
Because it's just tribalism one way.
Exactly. So that's why the marriage must be based on the DNA of the relationship as opposed to a one-size-fits-all answer. When you look at, for example, Xhosas coming from the Eastern Cape area, when we did our research on the prostitution environment, we found out that they move from Eastern Cape and they come to KZN. And literally. Yes, they go and sell in KZN. And so when you go to KZN, you will have the mindset that there's a lot of Zulus doing prostitution, which is not the case because the Zulu females have moved to Gauteng.
Wow.
You understand? So now
I was about to defend it. Now you're moving them to another province.
You shape-shift them. So we found that out, and we found it very interesting that Zulu women are being tarnished because one culture is moving, reputationally, because they had a strong culture of known as the most respectful woman in the South African, area. However, when they move from that side to that side, people know Durban to be entertainment environment, a tourism environment. So it's easy money for them.
July world.
So when guys go there, they go there strictly for that entertainment, and that does not a work in and of itself. So there are places I don't fly to without my wife.
Because you gotta have backup.
I don't trust myself. Literally.
I love your honesty.
I don't trust myself. I mean,
and it's this particular point is now sparking something else.
Oh yeah.
I know we spoke about side chicks. You spoke about a book that you did.
Yeah.
What's sparking this world of side chicks?
And
are they so bad if we think about it?
So side chicks, first of all, they studied where the wives fail. And then they
You heard that? Please say it again. They studied where the wives fail.
Yeah. And they exploit that area because remember, you've got the 80-20 rule in life.
80-20.
You've got 80 good things, but 20 bad things. And somehow the side chicks focuses on the 20 because in your eyes, the 20 is amplified as the biggest problem. So when side chicks deal into that particular area, they literally pounce onto it without even thinking twice. For example, if your own wife doesn't listen to you and a side chick listens to you, you're going to constantly speak to the side chick to try and get that
They studied where the wife fails.
Exactly. Meaning that they're already knowing who you are. They know your wife. They're probably even friends with your wife. Most side chicks, by the way, are friends to the wife by nature. So that's what we've come across. And I mean, I remember one instance where a lady was explaining in a church world, for example, where the lady who she even used to send prayer requests to, whom she even used to speak to about intercession and all those kinds of
warrior friend.
Yeah, my prayer warrior friend, but was busy with her husband. You understand? It's a dangerous world out there. I'm telling you. So that's why I said, when I fly to some of these places, I don't trust myself. So I always keep my WhatsApps open for my wife. I always keep my FaceTime and everything connected to the devices
Because you're
at home.
strengthening her sense of security with you.
Oh yeah.
Like we said earlier, a woman may feel insecure after finding out that the man has cheated. And I want to delve into that a bit more. What is it that may make a man feel insecure in marriage?
Okay. So let's first talk about trust to answer that.
Okay.
Love and trust are not the same thing.
Okay.
They are very different. So if I bring to you a 5-year-old child and I said, allow this 5-year-old to cook eggs with a gas stove, you would refuse.
No, they're too young.
Exactly. But if they are 20, you would say, hey, man, cook the stuff yourself, man. But you see, that's how women trust. Whether you're 5 or 20, they'll love you.
Yeah.
But from being 5 to 20, their trust is built on duration. That's why when a man starts a business, the woman doesn't believe in it.
Until
she starts to see results.
And sees results.
Yes. So you'll hear a lot of men saying, no, she doesn't support me this one. She doesn't do this. Why? Because by nature, women trust over duration. The first time a man meets a woman, he can actually take her to his house, sleep with her, tell her even there's the wallet, there's the car keys. You can see what you're going to do. Because men trust on the spot.
On the spot.
That's how the brotherhood works.
Yeah.
So, but then when you lose a man's trust, men write off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if a man betrays me today, I will never want to see him again.
Yeah.
So men write each other off. Women don't. Let's go to therapy. Let's go to counseling. Let's go. They'll always think because they know they can still work on the trust. However, if your wife today decides to go and cheat, it works different on a man.
Yeah. That's true.
Because there's a lot of things that so masculine trust and feminine trust is not the same. So for a man to be built in trusting his woman, it's obviously at that first point of meeting the trust is established. However, how do I maintain it? So a woman doesn't further grow the trust of her husband, she maintains the trust.
And that's how the marriage also lasts longer.
Exactly. But with a woman you have to build the trust. That's why love and trust are not the same thing.
Yeah.
Love is broken into 4 powerful words that the Greeks long time ago used to use, which is phileo, storge, agape, and eros.
I'm familiar with agape.
Yes. So agape is the love of sacrifice. In other words, whether we're fighting or not, I'll still work, I'll still bring food home, I will still cater for the children. That's agape. It's the sacrificing love. However, you've got eros, which is sexual love. This is what you get when you go to the bedroom, touching each other, caressing each other. Then at the same time, you've got what we call phileo, the love of friendship.
Okay.
Then you've got storge, the love of family. So these are the four most powerful types of love you need to have in the marriage.
Yeah.
So you can find somebody having the love of friendship, but not eros. They talk, they engage, they do, but in the bedroom, nothing. You find that they love the family. They also agape, they sacrifice for it, but he's not friends with his wife.
Oh.
Do you understand what I'm saying? And so,
Rick.
so love is a broad term when you define it in four perspectives of what the Grecians used to do. However, when you look at trust is defined into 8 bigger areas. Because there's institutional trust, there's interpersonal trust. So
you know what, Rick? I feel like we need more days. Me and you. You know, but it just in the interest of just summing up this marriage piece that we were talking about today. What is it that you feel you want to tell the world out there would make marriages work better?
You know, before you get married, no engineer goes into the field of engineering without education and without being qualified for it. Do not avoid premarital counseling. Premarital counseling is the bedrock upon which you can find yourself not making a lifetime decision that can catastrophically destroy the children that you're going to make one day. So you must find yourself running into the world of premarital in order to engage and arm yourself with true knowledge that can help you to shape whether you're going to go with this person or not. And one of the things you need to know is that don't just go for any counselor out there. You need to understand that experience and also having the example as a person counts a lot when it comes to getting marital advice, because any Jim and Jack can start a TikTok channel. Any Jim and Jack can start a YouTube channel. I mean, we had a guys not so long ago, not mentioning names, who started a TikTok channel and was giving people prescriptions, literal prescriptions.
Doctor.
And, yeah.
I know the name just hit me.
I mean, and people were buying into that. I mean, people were literally going to chemists and pharmacies to buy that medication.
Not approved for anything.
Not approved for anything. And I mean, I sat down there and I said, we are a gullible society. We don't do our references. And that's why some cultures from outside South Africa can scam us because we don't do our background research properly. So the best advice is, before you get married, before you make that decision, go and see a professional that can arm you with the correct decision. Sometimes not marrying the person you want to marry, it's maybe a good advice for both of you, because you find you're not compatible in any way whatsoever.
Wow. Rick, where do our viewers find you? Because I'm pretty sure they want to know more.
So you can get us through our WhatsApp line, which is +2767 7033 You can also email us at info@ricknetshiozwi.com. However, you can even go to the website, ricknetshiozwi.com and .co.za. And we've got 5 offices in the country. We've got Cape Town, VVA Waterfront. We've got Durban, Mhlanga 2nd and Tondo Drive. We've got West Tower here in Sandton. We've got Menlyn, Maine. We've got 35 Azalea and a virtual office in Polokwane. And so that's how people can reach us. Even on our social platforms, they can DM us. And we can be able to get to them. We are on YouTube, we're on Facebook, and we're also on TikTok. And that's how they can reach out to us.
Thank you so much. It's been amazing. It's been insightful. World, you heard it here. There is a lot we can fix in our marriages. We can also find better ways of handling issues. And like Rick said, it doesn't always have to be that one person you're tied to in life, but go in knowing first. Find yourself, find your purpose, drive what is about you first before you say the next person completes me. At RedemptionX, we love you. Find us on YouTube, subscribe, like it, follow us. We really appreciate your time as always.
What a fantastic show that we've had. I believe this is going to add so much value to you. I'm right here at RedemptionX with X, and I'm so excited that this full show is actually going to be on Olive Branch Entertainment. So listen to me. You've got to subscribe. You've got to click on that bell icon, and you've got to follow this channel, because there is a lot of entertainment that is coming your way, and I can't wait to see you. So hey, get on the clicking.